Hello everyone and welcome back to another SkillCapped guide. In today's guide, we are going to analyze some gameplay from T1 Food to show you some pro tips that will help you improve at Valorant. T1 Food is a professional Valorant player for the team T1. Food was previously a professional CSGO player, but made the switch to Valorant in May. After he made the switch, Food was able to achieve the title first Radiant rank in the world. In the gameplay we are going to watch, T1 Food plays like a beast in some Radiant and Immortal ranked lobbies. He's playing at the highest level and absolutely dominating, and I'm going to show you how you can do the exact same thing. Alright, now without any further ado, let's hop right into it. To start, I was actually able to talk to Food, and I asked him about playing Raze in PUG games. He had this to say: I think Raze is super strong in PUGs. Her kit with 2 nades allows her to be a very powerful fragger. Now, even though Raze isn't always the agent he chooses, he obviously thinks that she can be powerful if used correctly. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. Now, let's hop into some gameplay. We're going to start on round 8 of this game. Food and his team are on defense side bind. In the previous couple of rounds, they were able to secure a slight 4-3 lead. Now, in this video, we are going to focus a lot on Food's positioning and some other factors that allow him to get some seemingly free kills. So, this is a save round for Food and his team. They're using pistols, specifically the Ghost. The Ghost is a super strong option in save rounds because you can kill with just 2 headshots at any range. Food and his teammate Crashies are going to decide that they want to play aggressive A short to start the round. The first minor detail that we need to notice is the arrow that Crashies shoots. This gives Food and Crashies some safety as they know no one is at A short on the attacker side. With this information, they make a smart play to attack towards showers quickly. Attacking showers here is extremely smart because they know if someone's there, it is a free kill. Because normally you wouldn't expect the defender to instantly push through short and push showers. So they end up securing the free kill here. Something to keep in mind here though is that they aren't getting lucky with this free kill. This was calculated. This is a common theme that you will see throughout this video. Food seems to get lucky a lot. Almost every kill he gets seems like a free kill. I promise you though, Food's skill is not luck based at all, but is rather all skill. I'll explain more about how you can get these free kills later on in this video. Alright, so after they secure this kill in showers, the bomb gets planted B in a 3v3 situation. Food still doesn't have a rifle, which will impact the way he plays this. When you only have a pistol, you have to play a little more unorthodox in order to secure yourself kills. This is simply because the other team has more powerful weapons. This numerical advantage that the other team has will almost always allow them to get the kill before you can. Now, Food and Crashies both decide to go long in this situation because they know at least 2 enemies are on site. If they can isolate an enemy and get a kill, then this retake becomes very possible. Luckily, Food is able to pick up a Phantom and a Sova recon arrow gets shot on site. This recon exposes Jet and forces her into a terrible position, which allows Food to get a kill with his grenade. But the main focus that I want to pinpoint here is the way that Crashies died. The Phoenix is able to flash out and get a kill on Crashies, which makes this an almost impossible retake. Food played this flash perfectly. He stood close enough to a wall to gain cover. Crashies, on the other hand, was standing more in the open, which is what got him killed. This is another example of how Food uses his position to stay alive and get kills. You can take this with you into your own games as well. Pay attention to something as simple as where you're standing most of the time. Are you in a dangerous position? Could an enemy peek you from multiple angles right now? Could you move and put yourself into an even better position? Ask yourself these things while playing and try to improve little by little. Food ends up ruining his great positioning by running right into the open with a blast pack and dying to an angle he didn't check. I'm sure he wouldn't have done this if this was a real tournament game, but we can still take the same lesson from earlier. He positioned himself in one of the most vulnerable areas possible, in the sky, exposed to multiple angles with little information. Throughout this round, his positioning is what gave him a chance at winning, but it also is what ended up losing him the round. Moving on, we are going to analyze round number 9. This round is a quick one, but we can learn a lot from it. This round is a buy round for the defenders and is a crucial round for them to win. If they lose this, they're put in a terrible economic situation and will be losing. They know how important this round is, so they play it extremely smart and extremely strategic. Food starts with the same aggressive tactic that allowed him to get an advantage last round. He takes a short control with Crashies, hoping to either pick up a couple of early kills or get some information for his team. This is a great area of the map to control early on. If the attackers want to go here, they not only will have to take site, but they also have to take a short from the defense. The main difference between how he plays this round though, is how strategic he plays it. He doesn't just run in and hope to get one, he sits back and holds an angle while his teammate holds another. The way he plays this also can show us how to be useful even if we aren't getting a ton of kills. Many players determine how well someone does solely by their kill count. Although this can be a decent metric, it is not the only stat that matters. Now, as the round progresses, he falls off of mid and lets Sova play in a more aggressive position. This applies pressure to the enemy in two areas. They have to worry about a short, and they have no idea where Sova went. This is going to be the reason they do well this round. Letting the enemy focus on just one area can be a safe strategy, but won't always work out. Food decides to use his multiple abilities towards short to make the enemies focus on him. He times his blast pack perfectly to pick one up here, but the main thing to realize here is how he sets up Sova for a couple of free kills. As the enemies focus on Food, Crashes, the Sova player, is able to peek them and get 3 kills. The entire time, Food knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that if he can just apply a little pressure to short, then Crashes will be able to pick up at least 2. The reason this works is because the enemies can only take in so much information at once. They see one of their teammates die a short, and they're now going to be focused on this angle. Again, this is a perfect example of having a critical role during the round, even though you aren't the one securing all the kills. You can easily apply this to your games. Help your teammates out by holding angles together, trading kills, and even distracting for them sometimes. Now, we're going to skip round 10 and head straight to round 11. This round is an absolute disaster, and we are going to show step by step exactly why. So, previously we've seen Food use his strategy to get in position to secure kills. Well, even he makes mistakes sometimes, and this round is a great example. Everything starts out pretty normal, but there are 2 things that we need to pay attention to. 1, the defense is sitting back and waiting instead of pushing up. And 2, the attackers are using abilities to help slow them if they do push. The first example of ability usage we see is this Sage Slow Orb at a short. This forces Sub Rosa and Crashes to both sit back and not push through. This Slow Orb actually does a ton for the attacker side. And the reason this is so important is because now the defense has no control over a short. They have to try and peek the attackers if they want map control. So, the Slow Orb fades and Sova uses his drone to scout it out. It looks relatively clear, only one player on the right side. Should be an easy kill to get, right? Well, Food and Crashes decide they should push this and try and obtain a kill. Here they perform a common mistake that many players make. They tunnel vision on one player and basically ignore everything else. This is something that many players do. Whether you're brand new to the FPS genre or an experienced player, I guarantee there's been a time where you've done this. Instead of blindly running in here, they could have both sat back on site and waited for the enemies to push in. This would have allowed them to stay alive and actually help their team. If you want to do a strategy similar to what Food has been doing, you also have to remember you need to switch it up. Here, they've pushed through literally every time. The enemies are eventually going to learn to counter it. This is why it is so important to switch up what you're doing. If Food would have just sat back this round, the score would have been different. Another reason that this is so detrimental to the team is because the defense is now automatically at a numbers disadvantage. Anytime anyone dies right off the start of the round, it puts the opposite team in a great spot. Alright, now we're going to jump past a couple rounds and go to the start of the second half. The score is now 8-4 and Food and his team are attacking. He's opted to buy a Ghost on the pistol round as well as his Boombot. This is a pretty basic setup. Him having this Ghost will allow him to have a better chance at winning longer ranged fights. He and his team are hard committing to the A-bomb site and everything seems like a pretty normal, common site take, up until this U-Haul play. The way that Food plays this fight is exactly why he is a professional player. He knows that an enemy is coming U-Haul and also notices he has a Cypher here, his teammate. He peeks out to not only distract the Raze, but also to get himself in a better position. This play is so smart even though it seems pretty basic. Having 2 players in U-Haul allows them to play off of each other. If one dies, the other is able to secure a trade kill. Also, U-Haul is so strong because it is so difficult to completely clear. You have to check a couple corners and be worried about someone peeking you all at the same time. The first time I watched this round, I thought it was too good to be true. He was playing everything perfectly. But then he does a questionable play. He tosses a nade towards the U-Haul entrance. This is a great nade to throw, forces players back away from U-Haul. But he then decides to run through his own nade. This is an extremely dumb play for a lot of reasons. First off, he did a little under 70 damage to himself. He only had 100 hit points to start the round, so he just took away 70% of his own health for absolutely no reason. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, he peeked out and exposed himself to multiple angles at once, and took a 2v1 fight. This is the exact opposite of what you should do in a post-plant scenario just like this one. Instead of running directly at the enemies, sit back and wait. If your team planted the bomb, the clock is in your favor. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just hide and waste time. Dying lets the enemies get free value out of you. So what can we learn from this? Well, there are a couple of key things to take away. One, no matter how good of a player you are, you can't just run straight at the enemies all the time and expect it to work. And secondly, sometimes sitting back and hiding is the best thing you can do for your team, and we'll see that later on in this video. This might seem counterintuitive to some of you. How can hiding help your team? Well, mainly it's about just wasting time. If you can hide and waste the time of the enemies, you have a higher chance at winning the round. Okay, let's move on to a more positive round. Food decides to buy a Spectre this round and is going to play aggressive towards B. The boombot he places against the wall at the start is going to help him stay a little safer if an enemy peeks him. For instance, if an enemy peeks, they will have to focus on either the boombot or him. This gives him a slight advantage in this situation. No one's end up peeking, but he clears hookah exactly how you should. He checks all his corners and stays aware of the box. Him staying aware of this box allows him to get a great kill on Sage. Now the next part of this round is one of those clips that you would think was completely luck. He immediately double blast packs right through hookah towards long. This catches the Phoenix off guard and instantly secures him a kill. Most players would chalk this kill up to just plain luck. He got lucky that Phoenix wasn't ready, right? But here's what people don't think about. Food knew the entire time that Phoenix was long. He knew this because he heard a singular footstep while he was pushing hookah. This one footstep gave him all of the info he needed. He knew that one was long, so he had a couple options. The option most players would take would be to just take the fight from hookah. This can work, but Food thinks differently than the average player. He knows that this Phoenix is going to be looking towards hookah soon, but Food knows if he goes fast enough, the Phoenix will be caught completely off guard. And this is exactly what happened. He flew towards Phoenix so quickly, the Phoenix couldn't even react. Now, I know not all of you are professional Valorant players, so you might not want to fly directly at enemies with the confidence of a pro, and that is okay. The main learning point of this round isn't trying to tell you all to fly towards the enemies. The main point is to do the unexpected sometimes. You can do things that are so crazy your enemies won't expect them. You will be a difficult opponent to play against. It sucks to die to an opponent who does some of the craziest stuff that just somehow works. Use this to your advantage and become that player. Use your abilities in a new way, try things out, and if they work, do it again. Switching up how you're playing and doing things that the other team doesn't expect is one of the easiest ways to get your team a lead in a game. Alright, now on to our final round of this guide, and this one is probably my favorite. In this round, Food plays extremely smart and realizes a couple of things that the average player wouldn't. Right off the bat, the attackers want to pressure B. They get contested in hookah, so Food decides to make the play to go long. This puts pressure on both entrances to site and allows the attackers to get even more information. Food pushes out of long pretty safely. No one's really peeking, so he makes the decision to aggressively kill the Sova on site. He jumps on top of the box so that he is a harder target to kill and picks up the kill. This makes the round a 2v1, and here's where we see the smart plays that Food is known for. He gets the info that the player is hookah and immediately plants safely. He knows that the earlier he can get bomb down, the better. Now that the bomb is down, he does exactly what you should do. He hides, jump peeks, and just lets the Raze push. He realizes the Raze has to drop down from hookah in order to even get to site. He uses this to his advantage while peeking. Instead of peeking out and fighting it, he jump peeks behind box. This jump peek tactic makes him a very difficult target to hit and gives him a lot of info. He knows exactly where the enemy is, and this allows him to peek from any angle he wants. He just waits for his perfect moment to peek and takes the fight. This fight is automatically going to favor Food because the Raze doesn't know where he's going to peek from. This lets him instantly get the spray down and finalize that round win. Now we all know Food is a very aggressive run and gun type player while he plays, and that's very apparent in his gameplay. Some players like this controversial playstyle and others don't. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and like the video to get more guides that truly help you improve at Valorant every single day. None of this would be possible without you all, so thank you for that. And we here at SkillCapped want to thank you for watching, and good luck, good half, and good game.